Unsheath my wings and let them fly free. You got a little horn? It has been a long time since Gazpacho has got his wig snatched. I'm gonna go touch everything. Good morning. I had just woken up, hence the sleepy appearance, and didn't want to be too loud. Hence the voiceover now. Even though I do end up using a blender in a bit. So never mind that, but I had to get started on dinner because it has to cook all day in the crock pot. I'm making birria, which I haven't personally made before, but the recipe that I followed will be in the description for your convenience. You have to start off by soaking your dried chilies for about 15 minutes in some warm water to help them come back to life. But while that's happening, go ahead and quarter an onion and peel a couple of cloves of garlic. Next, I cut my chuck pot roast into large cubes and set it aside while I measured out some beef broth, which this box happened to be the perfect amount, so I kind of just wasted dirtying this measuring cup, but like I said, I had just woken up. Anyways, 2 cups of that, a tablespoon of oregano, 2 teaspoons of cumin, a teaspoon of salt, some pepper, and 2 bay leaves. We also need 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and by that time our chilies had finished their bath, so throw them in the blender along with the onion and garlic and a whole can of diced tomatoes. Blend until smooth, and so much for being quiet. Apologies to Steven, who was still sleeping. Then drag your crock pot out of the depths of hell and start dumping stuff in, starting with your meat cubes and cover them in the sauce, beef broth, apple cider vinegar, and the spices. Stir and cover and cook for a solid 8 to 10 hours. Easy. Apologies if the audio is trash, but the air conditioner has got to be on because it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. And while we're on the topic of the sweltering Savannah heat, probably my favorite insecurity that I ever just got over was the fact that now, as a 34-year-old woman, I am finally able to unsheath my wings and let them fly free. Because ladies, it was not always this way. In high school, I would wear a hoodie or a jacket every single day, despite if it was 100 degrees outside or not. It was very uncomfortable because God forbid one of these other heathens see a little bit of jiggle, or see that I have a roll. I was just not about to let that happen. I was very much blend in with the wallpaper, no one perceived me. That's how I was in high school. I did eventually stop caring about what other people thought of my body, but there was still some vulnerability about not wearing sleeves. It just felt too naked to me. And I got over that within the last year, the last 2 years. I don't know, but it's been great. There's been this whole other world of no sleeves that I was just unaware of. I didn't know how free it felt, and it's yeah. Anyways, I've been out running errands today and I drove past the Dollar Tree and I was like, I haven't been in there in a while and I want to see all that they have to offer for springtime. Now the Dollar Tree and Barnes & Noble are very similar to me in the fact that I will go in there and I will browse, I will peruse for hours and I won't buy a single gosh darn thing. So don't expect a haul, but I'm gonna go touch everything. I don't need another stuffed animal. I don't need another stuffed animal. I do not need another stuffed animal. Oh, they're Lilo and Stitch. Buzz Lightyear. Cadbury mini eggs are my fave, but these are knockoffs, and I'm also currently doing keto. I'm considering this disco ball, but worried I'll start a fire if direct sunlight hits it. Oh, these are $25 at the pet store. Oh my gosh, a mini spatula. I just love mini things. Look at these mini laundry soaps. It's so cute. Whoa. When's the last time you seen an ashtray out in the wild? So I did end up getting $13.77 worth of merchandise from the Dollar Tree. And I don't think I showed everything because like at some point it was all in my hands and I couldn't film. So let's do a real quick Dollar Tree haul. Starting with stickers. For whatever reason, I just love junk food stickers. And these are super cute. They have the old-timey cartoon eyes. Cute. And then just some under the sea ones. I did pick up this like hair sausage to try some heatless curls. So we'll be trying that together. Had to get the mini spatula. I got one of these ball launchers for $1.25. Every time I play fetch with the dolls, I hyperextend my elbow. So maybe this will prevent that from happening. I don't know what's wrong with my joints, but a lot's wrong. I got these folders. I don't know why. I just love office supplies. Thumbtacks. I just needed these. These face razors. This tube guy pin. I just thought he was really cute and really obnoxious to write with. And then one of these things, a splatter guard. I was thinking about getting one of these and I was very pleasantly surprised to have found it at the dollar store. Because it's freaking annoying when your skillet's popping all over the place. You just put this over the pan and it stops it from splattering. And that's all the things I got. For the next item on the agenda, guinea pig haircut. It has been a long time since Gazpacho has got his wig snatched. I've let it grow out in the winter because he's older, and when guinea pigs get old, they get skinny, and I just felt like it was added warmth, added protection, so I just let him basically become Rapunzel. But springtime is upon us, hence the no sleeves, and I just feel like it's time. Plus, I bought this bikini trimmer that I use on Shetty's paws because it's meant for gentle places. And I just felt like maybe that would be a good option for Gazpacho too, and a little less sketchy than me with scissors. Because for the most part he sits still, but like it gets a little dicey sometimes, like especially around his like butt area he doesn't really like touched. So he sometimes bucks and I get really nervous like having giant scissors next to his small body. So I digress. We're gonna try to shave him with a bikini trimmer. I didn't actually use this bikini trimmer. I bought it for the animals. So I do laser. That's too much information. I'm gonna stop talking. Okay, you little wig. His hair might be just as long as mine right now. He is glorious. Okay, buddy. Is that too scary? Let's try. This like can't cut you, so it's pretty nice. It's a little bit loud. Not as loud as some others, but I feel like it's just safer than scissors. I'll give you a buzz cut, guy. Get you ready for spring. You got a little horn? This is easier, huh, buddy? This isn't so bad. He was sitting on all this hair and look at his tail. Gazpacho. You have a train like a bride. He's pretty okay with these trimmers. Okay, Gazpacho. You are handsome. Kind of disheveled, but pretty good overall, I would say. Gazpacho. Oh my goodness. So much hair. I also at some point have to trim his nails, but I'll save that trauma for another day. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. He didn't seem to like hate the bikini trimmer thing. He seemed a little bit more calm than like when I'm like plucking up hairs and cutting them with the shears, so it worked out. There's a little bit over an hour left on the crock pot for dinner. Right now we're going to figure out some fixins as well as attempt to make a tortilla out of cottage cheese. Fingers crossed. And I'm also going to make some Spanish cauliflower rice. For the tortillas, I just put about a cup of cottage cheese in my blender along with 2 eggs and seasoned it with a bit of salt and garlic powder. Then blend until completely smooth and pour onto a parchment lined baking sheet. I also sprayed a little non-stick on there just because I don't completely trust it to not stick to the parchment paper. Now this ended up making 11 tortillas, but I accidentally made one wumbo, so it'd probably make like 12 uniform tortillas, just an FYI. I then baked them at 400 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes, just enough to see the edges start to brown. Next up, I'm preparing some pickled onions by slicing them really thin. Pouring a 1/4 cup of water in a pot along with white vinegar and apple cider vinegar and 1 tablespoon of sugar-free syrup. I use this one from Wholesome Yum that is sweetened with monk fruit. Then of course a bit of salt. Bring the liquid to a gentle simmer and put your sliced onions in some sort of vessel and pour that liquid over it. Then you just let that sit and cool and it'll be done in about half an hour. Now on to the side dish. I'm preparing Spanish cauliflower rice. Adding 15 ounces of riced cauliflower to my skillet, along with half of a medium onion which was diced thin. Then I dumped an entire can of rotel in, seasoning with a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and some chili powder. Add as much as your spice tolerance can handle, and of course salt and pepper to taste. A super easy, flavorful way to spice up your cauliflower rice. I shredded my meat and I crisped my tacos in a skillet, but next time I think I'll just throw them on a baking sheet and crisp them in the oven. It just seems easier and less time consuming and you could do more at once. So I'll have to remember that. But then the finishing touches, I just topped each with our pickled onion, cilantro, and some crema. These turned out beautiful and even more tasty. Okay, taste test. I'm very excited about this. Put some lime on everything. It always amazes me how much cauliflower can taste like rice. Like that tastes like Spanish rice, but these are amazing. I almost didn't make the pickled onions, but I'm so glad that I did because like the savoriness of like the meat and like a little bit of spice mixed with the freshness of the onions and cilantro. So good. And the cottage cheese tortillas hold up really well as well. So I'm kind of shook. I would give the tacos a solid 8 out of 10. The rice, maybe like 7.5 out of 10. Doug, it's over there. Douglas, are you blind? Oh, buddy. I'm just doing my morning routine of picking up dog shit and then playing fetch. And just wanted to report that this thing is awesome. I've had one like this before, but like you had to have a ball that wasn't standard size and I lost it like immediately, so it was worthless. But these ones from the dollar store fit a standard size tennis ball, so I'm gonna go back and get some more just in case I like lose this. But while I'm out here, I wanted to show you the progress on my seedlings that I planted. They're actually growing. I was worried that some of the seeds might not be viable, and maybe some of them still aren't because these guys here aren't growing, but maybe they just take longer. I don't know. But we got black plum tomatoes that are happening. Our bell peppers are starting to sprout. Our green bean is the star of the show. Love that for me. And I've been putting them outside, hopefully so like the elements happen to them and they get strong. So yeah, there's an update on that. Now let's go back in the house and get ready. I'm so excited because today is the day. I'm finally going to see Project Hail Mary. It's only been out for a day. But we're driving to a theater that's an hour away to do the whole D-box experience, which I guess it's just seats that like jostle you around with the movie as you watch the movie. I have no idea how intense it's going to be, so I took a motion sickness pill so I don't get sick. And we got some fruit for the ride. Show the fruit, Stevie. It's in the sun patch. No one can see that. Oh, it's just fruit. Anyway, we're off.
With the all-new Jeep, have everything you need to get to the river safely.
It's just a vibration chair. More intensity.
Stay safe.
Oh, it just, okay.
Features in the all-new Jeep Cherokee Hybrid.
You guys, Wendy's has new biggie deals starting at just...
I'm just laying down. I feel a little bit exhausted. And if you're wondering why I'm feeling exhausted from going and sitting in a theater for a couple hours, I don't know. I did end up throwing up. Not because of the seats. I actually threw up before the movie. I don't know if it was taking my motion sickness medicine on an empty stomach and then chasing it with fruit or what, but I made my mark on that Tinseltown parking lot. But I felt better enough afterward to be fine during the movie, so I'm really glad that I didn't miss it because I really liked that movie a lot. Obviously, the book to movie adaptation, you know, you can't fit all of the context in, so it was missing stuff, like lacking some context for like bigger emotional attachments to some things or reasoning behind like why certain decisions were made. And you know, it's pretty classic. It's not unusual, but I did think that they did a really good job with the movie actually. So I was satisfied, and I'm a huge fan of the book. Love Rocky. I love him so much. But yeah, after the movie, which I don't know the runtime, but it must have been pretty long because it felt like we were in there forever. Maybe 2.5 hours. I guess it wasn't that long. But understandably, because I had thrown up everything that I had eaten, I was pretty hungry. So before we went home, got some Jimmy John. I got my standard lettuce wrapped Club Lulu sandwich, slapped some avocado on it, and it was delicious. But now I feel really full and pretty sleepy. So I'm just resting. But yeah, 10 out of 10 recommend Project Hail Mary. Good movie, better book, read that shit. I forgot to mention the D-Box experience because it was honestly kind of forgettable. I just don't know if I didn't experience it with like the right movie or not. There wasn't a ton of like action. The seats kind of followed some movements. You kind of felt like you were moving along with like some of the pans of the camera or turning or whatever, but it wasn't like large amusement park style motions. I would say definitely something to experience once with an action-packed movie, but beyond that, I don't think it's worth doubling the ticket price for. And that's my opinions. I guess I forgot to wrap this one up, so final sentiments. Try that Birria recipe. Go and watch Project Hail Mary. Other than that, I just hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!